This sleek, modern, Japanese-inspired home sits in the center of a lush forest. Carefully balancing its modern aesthetic with lots of plants and natural elements, this home is a beautiful place for a small family. Hey guys, it's Kiyarko here, back with another speed build, and that's exactly what we're building today, a modern, sleek family home. And I gotta say, I absolutely love how this build turns out. I love how all my builds turn out. I'm a fan of my own creations, I must admit. And I know, look, I've created a lot of modern Japanese homes, a lot of Japanese-inspired architecture has been on my channel. I love the style, I love this world, I think it's so beautiful here, and I had to build another one, you guys, I can't help it. But of course, if you guys have anything else you want me to build that's not Japanese-inspired architecture, please let me know, because I'm always open to requests and, challenges and fun things like that, so just let me know. Like I said in the description of this house, it is basically a sleek, modern, Japanese-inspired home that has a lot of natural touches to it, because I wanted to find this careful balance between something very modern and new, but also really grounded in nature and the surrounding environment, and also kind of balancing more traditional architecture, more modern architecture, and that's just kind of what we do here. So let me know what you guys think of this build. Let me know if I was successful in balancing those two things. I think this turns out looking really cool, and I would actually live here, I've thought about this a lot recently. I don't really intend on living out in the middle of nowhere ever in my life, but if I live somewhere that had a pretty strong community, or just a place where there's community, that's pretty much what I'm thinking of, that's not just totally isolated and without anybody, I'd be willing to live there. So if this house was surrounded by lovely people and a community and places to go and things to do, I would love to live here. But if it was in the middle of the forest with nobody around, I'm not quite so sure, but it is quite a lovely build anyways, so let me know what you guys think of this. And if you have any name ideas for this build, please let me know, because Modern Japanese Home is a title that's on my channel 5 other times, so I would definitely like something unique to call this build. As you can see, in the front area of this house, we basically have this whole stepping stone situation over this really cool pond. I did imagine it'd be super cool if there were koi fish in the pond, but I didn't, I don't have koi fish in this game, I don't think, so there's no koi fish in the pond, but I really like the idea that there would be in real life. So imagine that there's fish swimming around in there. But basically, the way that this front entrance area works, as you can see, you can just walk up the stairs on the left and just enter the house, or you could take the fancy path, which is going to the right, and then walking across these stepping stones over this water into the house. So it's not actually functional. I mean, you know this game. There's not actually a pathway for Sims to be able to walk on these stepping stones, but it's the thought that counts, I think. It's definitely a really cool aesthetic. I was actually inspired by a real house that I saw on Pinterest, because whenever I build, I always check Pinterest first just for some inspo. And there was this really cool house that had this whole pond and stepping stone situation out front, and it was actually in Japan, so it was just perfect inspiration for this build. So kind of copied that. So if you've actually seen a build like this in real life, it's that one inspired this. But yeah, so I thought it'd be pretty cool to have that pond in the front there, just to incorporate, the natural element of water, and have these beautiful lily pads. And like I said, it'd be really cool to have koi fish swimming around your feet as you walk into the house. I thought that'd be really, really cool. In terms of the characterization of this house, who would live here, I'm not quite sure. I mean, they would definitely have to be pretty wealthy. I think this seems like a pretty expensive house. And like I said in the description of this build, it would have to be for a small family, because this is only a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. I mean, theoretically, you could have 2 adults and 2 kids and just have the 2 kids in one room. Or I guess you could probably rearrange the top space to have 3 bedrooms, but it's up to you. This build, by the way, will be available for download. You can check out the link down below. It's going to be on my Patreon. It will be out in a week publicly. Right now it's out for patrons only, which I currently have none of, to be totally honest with you guys. So if you're interested in, supporting me and my work and, just the stuff that I do, please check out my Patreon. I'm currently a interior design student going through a not very cheap program. It's putting me in a lot of debt, so I would really appreciate anything you can give and support me. That'd be great. So please check out my Patreon. That will be linked down below in the description. Okay, that was my self-promoting spiel. Let's get back to the build. But as you can see, I'm adding in some stepping stones here. I've kind of been obsessed with stepping stones lately. If you guys have noticed in my recent builds, it's been a lot of stepping stones. I don't know why, there's something so clean looking about them, and you can place them anywhere, and you can like form so many different patterns, and I don't know, I'm a stepping stone fan now. Get used to it. There's gonna be a lot of stepping stones in my builds nowadays. But in this build particularly, I thought it worked very well because they have this very like natural texture to them, but at the same time, because they're so like sleek and rectangular, they also have kind of a modern feel. So they fit in perfectly with the aesthetic. And then we have this back entrance here that actually leads into this really cool like corner study that we have with a skylight. Guys, wait till you see the inside of this build. I love the exterior of this outside, I love the exterior of this build, and I love the interior of this build, and I think I love them like equally as much, which doesn't always happen with me, you know? Sometimes I like my outsides better than my insides, or vice versa, because, you know, it just sometimes happens. But in this particular build, I love both. Like, I'm a huge fan of the outside, huge fan of the inside, so please stick through this video so you guys can see what I do with the inside of this build, because it's so beautiful. I feel like I toot my own horn a lot on this channel. I'm trying to figure out a way to like make you guys excited about my builds without sounding super conceited, and it's very hard to find that balance. So I hope you guys know that I know my builds aren't perfect, and I'm still working on my skills. I'm not trying to be like, I'm the greatest builder of all time, like love my work. I'm just proud of the stuff that I do, you know, and I'm always improving, and I think it's good to praise yourself on the things that you've improved on, and realize that, you know, you still have long ways to go another way. So, you know, it's self-feedback is an interesting thing. And of course, if you guys have any feedback for me on my build, or, you know, things you'd like to see, or things you don't like on my channel, of course, let me know. I'm really big on feedback. I love getting feedback. I think it's just the most amazing thing, because first of all, it shows that I think that you guys know what you guys want, and you can communicate that to me, and we can collaborate to create something that's better for everybody. So please let me know your thoughts on this, because I'm always curious about what you guys are thinking. And I mean, you've probably noticed by now, but this build does include custom content, just so you guys know. On the Patreon, all the custom content is linked and stuff, so you guys can download it if you're interested in downloading this build. And I hope you guys do, and if you do, please show me. The Discord will be linked down below, or you can, you know, talk to me about it in the comments of, you know, my videos. But I would love to see you guys, like, you know, play with these builds. I think that would be so cool, because God knows I'm not playing with these builds. I really don't have time, you know, like I've been kind of frustrated recently because I've been really wanting to play The Sims, you know, just like in free time, like not for building, just for me, just personal gameplay, just having fun. But I've just been so busy with you know, with school and my program, and it's taking up a lot of my time, which I'm super grateful for. I'm definitely seeing myself improving in my skills and stuff like that. But man, I don't have any Sims times anymore. I really want some simming time. So my spring break is actually coming up pretty soon, so I think during that break I'll actually be playing quite a lot. So if you guys have any gameplay suggestions for me, let me know. I mentioned in my last video I might be playing like a grandma in the forest, you know, gameplay. That might happen. I might also play like a vampire family. That one is always fun. I might, you know, try a shot at a legacy, but I never get too far with those, so that's probably not gonna happen. But if you guys have any fun story ideas, like concepts for gameplay, that you wouldn't mind not seeing, because it's just gonna be me in my house playing alone, let me know, because, you know, I'm looking for some gaming ideas. Or I might just, you know what I never do at all, but I know some people do, is like you create yourself in The Sims and then you like play out your life. I've never done that. I've never been super interested in like self-insertion into gameplay, because for me it's more about escapism. So it's like, why would I want to like bring my reality into the place where I'm supposed to escape from my reality, you know? And I always like thought it would, like, I don't think I'd have fun like controlling myself and making myself do like work and jobs and stuff, because I would see my little Sim self like working in The Sims, like making money, and it'd be like, oh man, why am I not working in real life making money right now? You know, like I think it would just make me too, I don't know, too self-critical, or maybe it would just make me just feel like very self-aware. I don't know. I'm just not about it. So any gameplay ideas you guys have, except for self-insertion, because that's just like not up my alley. But yeah, anyways, so you know what I just watched recently? I just rewatched the Steve Jobs movie with Michael Fassbender. I know this is such a random insert, but I was watching it last night, so I'm mentioning it now. And I was up very late last night watching it, so I'm very tired right now. But that is a fantastic movie. I must recommend it if you like, movies about real people, or if you like super fast-paced, movies, or movies about dialogue or stuff like that. Check it out. It's a really interesting character study of Steve Jobs. And I was just reading his the book about him. By, oh my god, I don't remember the biography written about him. It was really cool to see how that's translated onto the screen. So I suggest watching it if you're interested in that type of film, which is totally unrelated to this Japanese-inspired build. But if you guys have any movie recommendations or anything like that, please let me know, because I am always watching movies, always looking for new things to watch. Like I said, I rewatched Steve Jobs, so I've already seen it. So now I'm getting into the habit of watching things I've already seen, and I don't really like that. I want to keep trying new things. So if you guys have any movie recommendations, please let me know. I also recently watched Turning Red, which is the new Pixar film, and I actually really liked it. I thought the animation was absolutely amazing. There's a sequence in the movie where the father's cooking food, and it's the most beautiful animated food sequence I've ever seen. So highly recommend checking that out. It's actually free on Disney Plus right now, so if you have Disney Plus, you can just go watch it. So highly recommend. Totally unrelated to this build. Sorry. But my brain bounces around like that, and I feel like since I'm only posting once a week, I need to give you guys a recap of what I've been doing. But let's get back to the build, because that's what we're all here for. So as you can see, wow, look at this wallpaper. The cranes, the red, oh my god, it's so stunning. I would love to have this wallpaper in real life. I feel like it's totally beautiful. Definitely probably would be very expensive and totally out of my budget, but my god, it just is so stunning here, especially for this lovely dining room that we have. So basically the way that this is kind of laid out is we do have this fancy, more formal dining room space here on the right, and then I think we actually end up putting in a less formal dining space on the left, in the living room, because I feel like this dining space is so beautiful, but it is kind of formal, and I feel like this isn't really the type of place you munch quick breakfast on before you run out the door, So there's gonna be two kind, a formal and an informal dining space, which I think ends up working out. So we have this floor table, I forgot what it's called, on a tatami mat, and then we have this beautiful wallpaper. Just that dining room alone is one of my favorite spaces in this house, because I think it's just absolutely stunning. And then we're gonna set up the living room, where we start bringing in more modern elements, especially with this rug, because we're gonna actually use this particular custom content rug quite a lot, because there's so many beautiful swatches, and it just absolutely goes with this build. So you're gonna see me bring in this rug a lot, and we're gonna see all sorts of swatches on it. It took me a minute or two to figure out how to lay out this living room, because it's kind of a weird shape. It's very long and thin, and then we have doors on the wall, and it was kind of hard to figure out how to lay this out. So this was a little bit of a challenge. What I ended up doing is actually move the bathroom door into the dining room, so we have more wall space, and that allows me to actually put in a fireplace and a TV, which you can see me doing now. Of course, with the TV, I had to use my picture frame TVs, you can see me doing, because I hate the way other TVs look, and this goes for real life too. I really don't like the look of a lot of technology, which I know is such a weird thing to say, especially as a designer, but I feel I don't know, other than Mac or Apple products, I really don't like the design of a lot of things. That's not to say that I don't like PCs, because I have a PC, I'm using a PC right now, and it's amazing, and it totally does what it needs to do in terms of my gaming and editing and everything that needs to go on. But the aesthetic, man, I know that they're focusing on the internal aspects of the computer, and I appreciate that, but it's not that pretty, And even my TV, I love my TV, does everything it needs to do, but it's not that pretty. So I think someday I would love to buy one of these picture frame TVs, or probably DIY my own, because I feel like the real ones are probably a little bit too expensive. But that's definitely on my bucket list of home goods. I feel like that's such an interior designer thing to say, is that I have a bucket list of home goods, but I do. There's dream items that I have that I would love to just own in real life. So if you guys have any dream items that you'd like to recommend me as a designer, please do, because I love to see cool things on the internet. I love to see cool designs, new designers, old designers, anything at all. Let me know. If any of you are interested in design yourselves, I think it'd be a really cool conversation to have about, the cool things that we see in real life. I mean, I'm honestly a fan of a lot of the stuff IKEA's been putting out. I really, really would love if they actually restocked some of their really old designs, from the the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all their old vintage designs. If they could bring those back in a new collection, just revamp it, that would be amazing, because they had some really cool stuff out, and I would love to buy some vintage IKEA. So fingers crossed. I hope it happens one day, or maybe one day I'll be able to get a job at IKEA and I'll convince them to do it. I'll do that for you guys. I'll get a IKEA job and make sure they bring back all their cool designs. That'd be really awesome. Honestly, I'd be pretty happy working at IKEA. I love their work. What's the word? Not their work ethic. I mean, I guess their work ethic, but just their concept, the way they design their stores, and the way they supply the masses with affordable furniture. I just really like IKEA. This is not an ad for IKEA. This is not sponsored by IKEA, but for some reason we're talking about IKEA. Okay, so now we are in our what's it called? Study. This is the little office space that we have this back door leading out into the back area. It's not really a backyard, it's more just it exits out into the environment. So I guess this would be really cool if you're working here and you're getting frustrated with your work, and then you can just step outside, calm down, breathe, get some fresh air, stuff like that, and then return to your office. And I love this office. You get you get these corner windows, and then you have a skylight. It's just, I would love an office like this. It's so stunning. I feel like having natural light in an office is pretty important, especially just in terms of the human brain, because they did a study. I'm saying they super vaguely because I don't remember who it was, but there was a study done on different, I think I've mentioned this on my channel before, different light types and how it affects the human brain, and they found that more blue bright light made people more productive, whereas warmer lights, more afternoon lights, made people more creative, which is really interesting. So different lights can actually benefit you in different ways. It's not necessarily exclusively good or bad one or the other, so I figured having a lot of natural light in your office space is pretty important, because you get the natural daylight, makes you super productive. Then as it gets more afternooning into the more what's it called, golden hour, all the warm lights, then that's your time to be more creative, and think of more ideas and stuff like that. So that's just a really interesting thing about lighting. Just a fun fact for you guys. Anyway, so now we are upstairs in our bathroom, which we are about finished with, and we have these two bedrooms, or I guess we're moving back downstairs to the kitchen. I don't know, we're moving all over the place, you guys. I cannot predict what I'm gonna do next, so I know you guys can't either, so I apologize for being so jumping around in my build and in my narration. I'm just that kind of person who jumps around a lot. This is our kitchen. I don't love that you walk right into the kitchen when you enter the house, but it's kind of the only place I had to put it. I do think it works out. It just, it's a little abrupt to just walk into a house and just be in the kitchen, but here I think it works. And I'm also a hypocrite for saying that, because in my current house, my current apartment, when you walk in, you're in the kitchen, but I didn't want that for them, but it's okay. It works here, I think. And we're going to decorate this pretty lightly, just kind of making it very, this house overall, I did put a lot of decorations in, but I was trying to keep it very minimalistic, very sleek, because that's kind of the modern thing we're going for here. We do swap out these counters and actually put in a little sit down counter area, so you can also just chug down your breakfast here, and walk right out the door if you need to. We are going to put in a floor mat in the front here. I had a weird glitch here where it kept going through the floor, so only certain carpets were working here. It was really weird, but figured it out. We put in that rug, and then we're actually going to put some stuff on the walls just to decorate a little bit more. These two paintings, totally beautiful. And then I think we're going to move upstairs. Yes. So basically upstairs we have two bedrooms. The one on the right is the master bedroom, and the one on the left is I think we turned into a toddler's room. But like I said, if you bring this into your game, you can really, move this around however you want. You can make it a bedroom for two kids. You could stick two twins in there. You could make it an extra office space if you only have, adults. I don't know. You could really do anything you want with this space. It's pretty versatile, I think. But I just made it two bedrooms. So we have our master bedroom here with this lovely bed frame. I actually need a new bed frame, and I'm thinking about building one, actually, because I don't have a lot of money. Bed frames are pretty expensive, and I feel like it'd be pretty cool to teach myself like how to actually like build a piece of furniture for myself. And if I did have to build a bed frame, it might be something like this, where it's like a flat bottom, because this looks pretty basic, I think, to build. And then maybe some storage underneath or something like that. I don't know. If any of you guys have bed frame building technique advice, I mean, that's so specific. But if you guys do, let me know. I mean, who knows? It's the internet. So many people on here. Yeah, so let me know. Anyways, now we're putting in some curtains, you know, for some privacy, because it's a bedroom and they need privacy. And then we're gonna put in this really cool chair. I love this chair. It's so cool. I kind of feel like it'd probably be a little bit uncomfortable to sit in real life, because there's no like armrests or anything. It's just kind of like a little hammock in a circle, but it's so beautiful, so we had to put it there. Then we're gonna decorate our nursery pretty fast. I mean, I wasn't thinking too deeply about characterization here, like in terms of the Sims who live here. I was just more thinking about the aesthetics. But I'm not sure. Who do you think would live here? You know, like I said, they definitely have to be pretty wealthy. Maybe somebody who's interested in the environment, since there's a lot of natural elements on the exterior of this house, or maybe, I mean, we have that big old office, so someone who would work in an office, maybe a businessman or a writer, or I don't know, someone like that. Let me know what you guys think. But we have this really cute toddler's room here, so there's obviously a little kid here. We have this really cool big old crocodile plush, and then we have putting in a dresser with this beautiful tree print on the front, and then we're also going to put in a curtain here. There is a sliding door out onto a balcony here, which probably is not that safe to have unattended in a toddler's room, but you know, it's fine. They'll be fine. They're not going to fall. But I mean, they'll lock the door. It'll be fine. And then we're about finishing up this build, just decorating this hallway area a little bit so it's not so, you know, barren and empty. And we're going to put in one last little bookcase thing over here on the side, putting in our books. There's a lot of books in this house. Maybe a writer is pretty accurate, or a journalist or something like that. And then we're going to put in another plant, because I wanted to bring in another natural element. And we're about done with this build. We're just going to finish off decorating this balcony really quick, but please let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you have any name ideas, and of course any future build ideas, challenges, requests, you know, anything at all. Just let me know, because, you know, if you guys don't give me challenges, I'm just gonna keep building Japanese inspired homes and cafes and all those things, because I just love building those things. So if you guys want to see something different, please let me know. I hope you guys had a good week. I had a very busy week, but after this week is done, I'm gonna be on spring break and I'll be a lot less busy, and that's gonna be very nice. Just take a break for a little bit. And like I said, I'm gonna have a lot of time, so if you guys have any movie recommendations, now is the time to tell me, because I'm gonna be watching a lot of movies over the next 2 weeks. And yeah, I hope you guys had an amazing week. Thank you as always for watching this video. And yeah, thanks guys. I will see you next time.